Life at the Colorado Chautauqua has been one of profound peace, intellectual stimulation, and retreat. A niche community of multi-generational cottage owners has formed over the years, living peacefully beneath the magnificence of the flatirons since the late 1800s. This community could not have started without the seed. In 1874, in Chautauqua, New York, the start of the Chautauqua movement, which stood on the pillars of education, arts, nature, and religion. But as it moved west, religion dropped off, and legions of artists, speakers, and musicians traveled from Chautauqua to Chautauqua in a setting where the working class would have access to the day's great performers. In the West, the Texas Board of Regents wanted to establish a summer teacher training program in Colorado. But it was the citizens of Boulder themselves that voted to support the Texas Colorado Chautauqua to be built at the base of the Flatirons, at the time a sparse ranch. 1898, the Colorado Chautauqua was born. An internal community was created from the people that visited and owned the cottages, the Chautauquans. Adults and children took courses in arts, had picnics, and hiked the beautiful Flatirons through the local Rocky Mountain Climbers Club.
And the Chautauqua was always supposed to be about two things: providing the programming for the benefit of the community and bringing the visitors in to experience the Chautauqua and to experience Boulder. I think it was tourism before the word tourism was ever used.
And most importantly, this community incorporated women into the everyday life of cultural and educational activities. Theodosia Ammons joined the 1898 faculty at the Colorado Chautauqua, originally a professor at CSU Fort Collins of Domestic Sciences.
She wanted to build her own cottage here on the grounds, so she designed this as a model cottage, and it was kind of part of her whole focus in the domestic sciences, and especially how to make it efficient so that the women who stayed here could have the time to go and, take advantage of all the things that were going on in the classes. So this cottage is designed with a porch on three sides, and as my mom said, once you put the gate in, it turned it into the world's largest playpen. The side of the porch that we're sitting on here was actually where they would eat and sort of have their outdoor activities, and the other side had curtains that they could put down, and they would sleep out there. A lot of recent visitors, when they come here, they say, well, why wasn't the porch also on the fourth side, on the west side, towards the mountains, because that's the view. The focus then was the other direction, towards the rest of the Chautauqua, because that was what was important, it still is, the community.
All the cottages would be designed with the purpose of communication and were built to face inward to the park, to spark conversation, or to discuss that day's activities. For many, this was a home away from home, especially for fourth-generation cottager Barbara Guthrie. Her family had owned a cottage at Chautauqua since 1919. Her mother would hike with the Rocky Mountain Climbers Club, and she would take classes in drama and dance. Barbara says Chautauqua has always had a family feel.
Children still are able to run from one person's house to another, and they don't necessarily have to have their parents with them. There would be teenagers from Boulder and teenagers from Chautauqua, and we would all get together at the community house and have dances. And of course, during World War II, it was very much a woman-dominated because all the men were overseas. Husbands and fathers of our friends that didn't return after World War II. But this is really where we have friends and family of generations.
The Colorado Chautauqua Association works to not only restore the cottages, but to incorporate eco-friendly renovations through tankless water heaters and proper insulation, among other techniques developed at the Chautauqua Learning Lab.
When we finish a project, and if someone was to come along and say it doesn't look like you did anything, then to me that's a successful preservation project.
The Colorado Chautauqua received its National Historic Landmark designation in 2006. They continue to utilize their grounds and buildings for its original purpose. The city of Boulder is a thriving community, bursting with new startup companies and innovative education programs, continuing the tradition of inspiration in a community atmosphere of cottagers and Boulderites.
that it might be yours, that it might be mine. If you're already gone, come down anyway. Come down to the garden, come down for a day. Come to the garden, house may be looming, but the time to pick the flower is the hour when it's blooming. Come to the garden, house may be looming, but the time to pick the flower is the hour that it's blooming.